So I'm John Sullivan. I'm a dermatologist working in southern Sydney, and you're in my clinic at the moment, Kingsway Dermatology and Aesthetics. The Alma hybrid, it's got a few really unusual features with it there, but one of the best ones is, it can fire two different lasers through the same hole, and that can mean you can get really good depth and benefit without all the sort of excess downtime that you'd get with, say, a pure CO2 laser. It's also got really good flexibility, so you can alternate in the same treatment between different types of shots with a fully ablative one, and the adjacent holes can be non-ablative, so you're still getting a really good field effect. You're still getting that skin tightening and improvement, but you're not getting all the downtime of a pure CO2 laser. But I suppose my favourite thing that got my interest in it was the transepidermal drug delivery system. That I've always sort of loved being able to take advantage of the holes that lasers make in the skin to do better. And with most of our treatments, we always think, what can we do after laser to help with healing, to improve the outcomes? And this really just answered that sort of thing to do it more reliably. So with the TED, or the impact or ultrasound piece, it helps massage things deep in the holes right into the skin. And it also makes it much more even, and that provides this really good reservoir from which, say, growth factors, repair factors, or things you want to improve outcome seep through the skin to have their good effects. Well, I think the really good part with the hybrid is, its adaptability. So here we are in southern Sydney, and 50% plus of work for dermatologists is skin cancer management, and laser-assisted photodynamic therapy is one of our favourite sort of treatments to treat that field damage you get here. So people have actinic keratoses, pre-cancers, and they'll also want, rejuvenation for their photo-aging skin. So it's a great treatment where you can do laser-assisted PDT using the CO2 laser and the transepidermal drug delivery to not only treat pre-cancerous lesions, early cancerous lesions, but also their sort of photo-aging, be that sort of the brown spots, age spots, and also improve those fine lines and wrinkles all in the one treatment. So that's sort of our base treatment, which means we've got lots of medical reasons for using it, but then, as you said, it excels in sort of treating scars. So our other favourite things are treating sort of acne scars and other scars. And again, CO2 laser has always been the gold standard, but if you can add it in that transepidermal drug delivery to, say, add a corticosteroid for those thickened, itchy, irritable scars, or for the hypopigmented scars where they've lost colour, such as in acne, you can add things that help the pigment cells migrate and come back. And I suppose the other sort of key things when you're treating scars, you're often doing sort of quite a strong treatment. So anything that can improve in that healing is also important. And there's some evidence some of the other things we can do can help with those atrophic rolling scars, where you can do things that help stimulate new collagen, elastin, and strengthening of the skin. So it answers all those benefits, and then the added sort of benefit is it's a really good cosmetic laser that as you said, one of the biggest things people don't like about getting older is those lines, wrinkles, age spots, and it answers all those questions too, all in the one device. We use it for treating lots of pre-cancerous skin lesions with that photodynamic therapy. And then, as you said, all those wrinkles and lines that we get around our eyes, around our mouth, and sagging faces, the CO2 laser is a great way to sort of reverse a lot of those changes of time and photo-aging. And they'd be our main treatments that we do. One of our favourite parts is, we've always loved doing CO2 laser, but it's a really big treatment for patients, and it can be quite uncomfortable. And often when we're doing a strong CO2 treatment, we'd have to do sort of nerve blocks, maybe infiltrate the skin with dilute local anaesthetic. And this handpiece has a really nice cooling ring. So in combination with a strong anaesthetic cream, often we can get away with just the cooling of the handpiece, the anaesthetic cream, and we can avoid a lot of the nerve blocks and other sort of uncomfortable pain relieving things we used to do. So it really is well tolerated by patients, which was a really good surprise. The Alma hybrid, it's a really good one for patients or our clients, in that it really has made doing CO2 laser a much less traumatic and easier thing to do. It's made the whole experience a lot more comfortable, and although we still love doing a really strong full-on CO2 treatment, It's also given the option that patients are happy to do this treatment a few times. So rather than do a really strong one, we can stagger it over a few treatments to get that full benefits, but without all the trauma of weeping, oozing skin, slow to recover, persistent redness. That it sort of combines a fractionated laser, the ability to use a non-ablative laser together, that the recovery time's a lot better. And because of the comfort of doing the procedure for patients, that's really sort of completely changed my idea of, when I'd recommend CO2. Whereas before, I'd recommend CO2. Number one, I loved it for the really severely damaged patients, but I really didn't recommend it for those people in that moderate degree, or ones where I didn't think could cope with the downtime, just because CO2 used to be quite traumatic in the recovery. And the good part with this laser, it's much easier to do during the patient treatment. You don't feel like you're causing pain and distress to the patient. But when you see the photos in the week after for their recovery, you really think, oh, that wasn't too bad a treatment. And as he said, they come back, you've seen good benefits. And if you need to do more, the patients are quite happy to go through the whole process again, which is a great difference. So you still get a good field effect, but you don't get all the downtime of a CO2. So it's really safe in those areas where we'd normally be very cautious in doing a CO2 treatment due to risks of slow healing or even potentially scarring. So it's really made the comfortable, we're very comfortable treating areas where we've always been cautious before. So why did we invest in the hybrid in our clinic? We've already got several CO2 lasers, and we love CO2, and my staff were saying, why are we getting another CO2 laser? And I think the good part, it's very flexible in what it does, and as I mentioned before, a lot of our work is skin cancer work here, and CO2 is a workhorse for doing better with our skin cancer management. Then you've got the added benefits of doing much better for your scar treatment, and CO2 is the gold standard for all types of scars, but often it was a strong treatment, and now you can really tailor it to what you're seeing, get a great result, and you can either, as I mentioned before, do multiple treatments, or you can do a really strong, effective treatment in one. So it's just that flexibility. And I think the good part is you'll treat one member of the family, they won't have had a bad experience, and they'll bring the rest of their family. So I think it really sort of has if you are helping people with things like scarring and acne, it has good impacts for the whole family as well. So with the Alma, although I think all our doctors love using it, I'll often sort of want to start a treatment, help plan things, but the good part is the menus are very self-explanatory. It's got really good sort of guidance there. It's a nice, easy hand piece and good visualization. So as you said, our nurses, although it's a new device, they became very comfortable with it very quickly. So I think the good part with this device, it's just intuitive how to use it. And I think, as you said, it's been cleverly designed. So as you said, it's a great one for learning how to do CO2. So I'm glad to say our staff actually have loved CO2 for years, so it's actually just improved what they can do. The big thing was that it's exciting with the future that transdermal drug delivery, it really is a new sort of science, and we've got really good evidence for scars, and corticosteroids, great evidence for sort of skin cancer treatments and photodynamic therapy. Hopefully there's a whole lot of applications we haven't even thought of yet. Where appropriate, we use CO2 on all sort of skin types, and I think the key to that is getting the settings right, the density right, the power right. So in darker skin types, if they've got a skin condition that would benefit from CO2, it's great because of that flexibility. So you drop down the density of treatments, but I wouldn't be scared sort of putting up the energy, because it's when you do gentle treatments, really heat the top layer, that you have trouble with that post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. So I think with Alma Hybrid, it's good. It's got a very small sort of spot size. You've got the option of CO2, but then you can get that depth by then firing through that same hole with a non-ablative laser. So you can get really good benefits, but sort of minimising that risk of that post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. But as you said, you can minimise that downtime, but every now and again, you just want to maximise the benefits as well. We've had patients where they've had traditional CO2 before, and then the Alma hybrid. And I think the biggest sort of difference is, they'll say actually that treatment was much easier to go through, which is really sort of good. That, as you said, patient comfort is important, and it can be quite distressing having a strong laser treatment. The other part was just the recovery is so much smoother for the patient. So there's overall sort of reduced downtime, less potential problems. And when you see their photos and emails, they're more likely to be smiling rather than looking sad in those few days afterwards.